Forgetting doesn't hurt. Remembering does. Paulo Coelho. Hi everyone and welcome back to our channel. We know you're always looking for new and interesting ways to challenge yourself mentally. That's why our videos are perfect for you. Let's test your knowledge and see how much attention you've paid throughout the video. Remember, there's only one way to find out. This is the story of Aman, and the price he paid for forgetting. Iman was an ordinary guy living an ordinary life. He went to school, graduated, got a job, and found a girl he liked. He had supportive parents and loyal friends, but beneath the surface of his seemingly perfect life, there was a wound that refused to heal, a memory that refused to fade. The night he lost someone dear to him, a tragedy that shattered his world into a million pieces. Every day he woke up hoping it was all just a bad dream, but it wasn't. It was real and it hurt. And the pain didn't go away. It just became a dull ache in his chest. The world kept spinning. People kept smiling, but he couldn't join them. He couldn't enjoy anything anymore. All he could think about was the loss. It ate at him, controlled him, defined him. He felt like he was carrying a heavy rock in his backpack. He could feel its weight every step he took. One day he couldn't take it anymore. He wanted to be free of the burden, even if it meant losing a part of himself. That's when he saw the ad. A black and white TV, flickering with static, a low voice whispering promises. A chance at oblivion. The ad made him feel less alone. He followed the instructions and made an appointment. Dr. Bell was different from the doctors he'd seen before. His office wasn't sterile. It was cluttered with books and papers. His eyes weren't cold and clinical. They were warm and knowing. When he spoke, it was like he was reading Eamon's mind. "I know what you're feeling," he said. "I know what you need." Dr. Bell offered Eamon a choice, a way to let go of the past, to erase the memory that was haunting him. According to him, this was possible by entering the deep recesses of the subconscious mind where memories are stored. It sounded too good to be true, but desperate times called for desperate measures. Ayan agreed. The procedure was explained. All he had to do was relax and choose the memory he wanted to erase. Everything else would be taken care of. As the process began, Ethan felt a sense of calm wash over him. It was the first time in years that he didn't feel the weight of his past pulling him down. It was like a fog lifting, revealing a clear blue sky. He could breathe again. The memory was gone. He was free. At first, it felt like a dream. He couldn't believe that the memory was really gone, that he wouldn't have to relive that day over and over again. He laughed. He cried. He threw himself into his work, trying to fill the void left by the memory. For the first time in years, he felt happy. He felt like he could move on with his life. But as the days passed, he started to notice small, insignificant things, people he knew but couldn't place, places that looked familiar but he couldn't recognize, moments that felt like déjà vu but he couldn't understand why. He tried to shake it off, attributing it to stress or lack of sleep, but the feeling persisted, growing stronger with each passing day. He felt like a stranger in a familiar land, like he was living someone else's life. He couldn't remember why he did the things he did. He couldn't understand the emotions that drove him. He felt like a puppet, going through the motions of life without any real purpose or direction. He had erased the memory of his greatest pain, but in doing so, he had also erased the meaning of his life. His friends and family noticed the change in him. They were worried, confused, scared. They tried to help, but he pushed them away, not understanding their concern or their love. He felt disconnected from them, from everything. The joy he once found in simple things was now a distant memory. The laughter that once filled his days was now replaced by silence. The love that once warmed his heart was now a cold, distant ache. He had hoped that by erasing the memory, he would be able to move on to live a better life. But he soon realized that the memory was not just a painful reminder of the past, it was also a part of who he was, a part of his identity. By erasing it, he had also erased a part of himself. He had become a different person, a person he didn't like or even recognize. He had traded his pain for emptiness, his grief for nothingness. He had become a living, breathing monument to the past, stuck in a present that didn't belong to him. But as time went on, he began to understand the truth. Forgetting didn't heal. It only blinded. Pain wasn't something to run from, but something to grow into. The memories, even the painful ones, were what made him him. He had been so focused on escaping the pain that he had forgotten to live a life worth remembering. One day, he decided to visit Dr. Bell again. He needed answers, closure, anything to make sense of what he had done, of what he had become. But when he arrived at the doctor's office, he found it deserted. The door was locked, the windows boarded up. There was no sign of life or activity. It was as if the place had been abandoned for years. He knocked on the door, but only silence answered him. He called out for the doctor, but only his own voice echoed back. He was alone, determined to find the truth. He searched for another lead, another clue, anything to help him understand what had happened to him, to find a way to reverse the damage that had been done. He met with other experts, delved into research, explored alternative therapies, but none of it gave him the answers he was looking for. He was stuck in a labyrinth of his own making, trapped in a prison of his own design. He had become a prisoner of his own past. He had been so desperate to escape the pain of the past that he had forgotten to live a life worth remembering. He had become a shell of his former self, a hollowed-out husk of the man he once was. He had lost his purpose, his passion, his joy. He had lost himself. In his quest to forget the past, he had created a present that was devoid of meaning, a future that was bleak and hopeless. He had become a living, breathing testament to the power of forgetting. He had become a warning to others who might be tempted to follow in his footsteps. He had become a cautionary tale. And so Ion lived out the remainder of his days in solitude, haunted by the ghost of the man he once was, tormented by the memory of the life he had lost. He had become a living, breathing monument to the past, a statue carved out of pain and regret. He had become a relic of a bygone era, a vestige of a forgotten time. He had become a fossil of a life that could have been. He had forgotten the past and in doing so had lost the present. He had sacrificed his future on the altar of oblivion. He had become a victim of his own forgetting. He had become a casualty of his own forgetting. He had become a martyr to his own forgetting. So remember, my friends, the past may be painful, but it is also what makes us who we are. It is what gives us our strength, our wisdom, our compassion. It is what allows us to grow, to learn, to evolve. It is what enables us to create a better future. So hold on to your past, embrace your pain, and never forget who you are. For in forgetting, we lose ourselves. Now, let's check if you were paying attention throughout the video. Remember, there's only one way to find out. Question 1, why did Ahmad visit the clinic? Question 2, what did Dr. Bell offer Adam? Question 3, how did Adam feel after the procedure? Question 4, what did Adam realize over time? And question 5, what should we learn from Adam's story? Write down your answers in the comments section. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe for more. And for those of you who want to learn more about our channel, visit our website. Thanks for watching. Until next time.